How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy with. I'm Will, and today we're opening up one of the newest Kickstarter games we got, which is Astro Knights by Indie Board and Cards. That's what it says down here on this bottom corner. I should probably read these things before I start my videos. Nah. All right, so with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get that camera flipped over so we can see what comes in the box. All right, so we go Astro Knights, like I said, Indie Boards and Cards, Nick Little, Will Sobel, 14 plus, 1 to 4 players, 60 minutes. It is a cooperative deck building style game. So, of course, right up me and Audrey's alley. We like cooperative. We like deck building. This kind of was given, people were saying, like a Power Rangers type vibe because of the way the characters look. I like Power Rangers, and that's one of the things about the Power Ranger game I didn't quite like is there's no co-op mode yet, but they are adding a solo mode. So we'll see. So basically you are Astro Knights in a cooperative deck building game where you take up the mantle of an Astro Knight, powerful defenders of the universe. Sounds like a cartoon I used to know. Unlike most deck builders, players in Astro Knights, you never shuffle their decks, meaning it's up to you to set your tactical combo. So that's one of the big differences here, right? You can add the cards, but based on how you play them and discard them, you basically just flip over your deck, and that becomes your new deck once you run out. So you can kind of plan the order. It's very similar to another game that this was based on, and right now I'm drawing a blank what it was called, that used this similar system. All right, so here we go. I have taken everything out. Everything's been punched. Everything is in the box to the best of my ability for storage. So if you're wondering how it stores, well, this is going to be kind of it. All right, so we go. Astro Knights. 6 unlikely heroes have gathered from the corners of the galaxy with one united goal to take up fight against astral monstrosities that threaten our homeworlds. Yeah, that sounds like Power Rangers, except for it didn't say that they were teenagers with attitudes. All right, so contents, what comes in the box, component anatomy, health track, player mat on the back. It's got their personal info, your homeworld cards, more anatomy cards, component anatomy for your health dials, boss cards, boss levels. So the bosses do level up as you play, and then difficulty tokens where you can make them on expert mode. Player setup, your starting hand. So each one has their own little asymmetric starting hand. Setting up the homeworld that you're going to be on. Supply setup. So they're the cards that you can buy. And then turn order. So it is kind of like an action priority system. So you basically shuffle the cards together and it's going to say whose turn it is. So that does add some randomness. That may not be for everybody. Boss setup rules. All right, so setup of your game, setup of the boss. Gameplay, turn order, turn overview, attack phase. Then you have your main phase. Then you have more of your main phase. There's a lot in the main phase going on. Yeah, main phase goes all the way to H. Then player turn, draw phase, boss's turn, boss main phase, draw phase, level tokens. Oh yeah, so certain things will get tokens added to it, and that changes how the game plays. And then exhausted, when a player is exhausted. End of game. Game ends when players are victorious. The boss is at 0 health. Players lose if any of the following are true. All players are exhausted, 0 health. Homeworld has 0 health. The boss needs to draw a card when the boss deck is empty and all the boss level tokens have already been played. In addition, boss may have specific conditions that you need to pay attention to. And then there is a solo mode, although it's very, very small back here. And variable difficulty, nightmare, and expert. Game terms, so that's nice. Quick little way to figure that out. So here are our different characters, our different Astro Knights. So the health and stuff changes. Okay, so the health does change. Their slots, or the little yellow changes. I guess that's their slots. Yeah, so 3, 4 slots, and then their health. And then this is your power. So Christina, activate during your main phase. Any ally gains the top weapon from any supply deck and places it on their card. And then on the back has, like I said, a little bit of information about them, what their starting hand is, and then what their starting deck, so what cards they get. These are a little thin, which I guess is nice. Okay, it cuts down cost. But one thing I've mentioned in another game, I saw this, where it had the dual layer player board. It's a single layer, so you don't have to worry about the thickness and all that, but it's still got the punch out, so you can stick your tokens and not have them move around. Gavril, activate your main phase, deal 3 damage, increase that damage by 1 for each weapon in your discard. So he wants a lot of weapons. Tali, the Homeworld gains 3 health and powers up, so that's your healer. Silas, any player gains 5 health, so that is a healer for the people. Zach, activate during the main phase, attack up 2 of your weapons without discarding them, so you can attack, and then do it again the next turn. Any ally draws 3 cards, then they may destroy a card in hand. Delith, so I think this is one of the, I think the back 2, or maybe even Nazma, or just, it says 6 heroes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So these are the original 6, and then these were the stretch goal characters, but then they didn't update the description in the book to say 8. So overcharge tech, then overcharge a tech, reveal the turn order deck, and return those cards in any order. Okay, so she gets to overcharge 2 of her tech, but then she gets to basically set up the turn order. And then Alexios, defeat a minion. If you have 5 or less health, gain 2 health. Okay, so you can self-heal. All right, and then these are our bosses. So Continua, it just has special. I'm not going to read all their rules. And then they have scouting report. So it's got a little flavor text on the back, 60 hit points. And then it says for setup what you need to do. And then it's got a, that's nice. So challenge level 8. And then it has what the max level would be. So Lunaris, of course, Transformers. They're going to have a lot of little things that resemble other things, I believe. 40, challenge 8 and 3. Architect 0815. 50, challenge 5, so a lot easier. Max level 6. I guess also why it makes it easier is they have more levels they can go up to take longer to beat them. Furion, and he has this little artillery thing over there on the side. Oh, Lunaris had an Eclipse track, so he's got an artillery track. 60, challenge rating 2, max level 3. So he's less challenging, but again, he doesn't have that much levels that he can go up to, but his hit points is kind of high. And then this was the Kickstarter baddie. So he's got a swarm, and then 50, challenge rating 4, max level 3. So this is how I put everything in here. Again, it's up to you how you want to put everything in here. But it has a lot of extra room for more in the future. These tuck boxes truly are optional. You really don't need them. If you want everything to fit in and be flat, then you wouldn't want to use these tuck boxes. And even still, these don't bend. So I just opened up Terraform Mars in the past, and I just opened up the new expansions. Theirs bent, so they would lay flat. These don't technically do that. So if you see how I had these here, that actually fit perfectly for if you put the bad guy. How did I do this? I put it in here so they all fit. Nah, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. You guys saw them. They were in here. They were in here originally. All right, there you go. So this kind of fits like that, and then these can fit on top of the box to the to the side of the tray, and then that makes that the same height as this, which is then the book will lay flat. So it fits. It's just not a great insert for it. Although if they create any more content, you're going to end up tossing this anyways. Like I said, you would save some room if you took these out of the boxes and just put all the cards here. Then the Parasite cards would fit over here as well. And then it would be easier to fit these in because you don't have to worry about this box being in the way. You could also just technically lay that down. All right. So your hit point dials for your for the Homeworld. So this is the Homeworld dial. And then for the boss. So you only get one boss dial. I guess they just randomly chose one, although he's the one on the box, so I'm guessing he's the big boss. Random tokens, just random tokens. That's all these are. Those random tokens. And then your peggy things for your player boards. I don't know what to call them. Your little, those little things, little wood things. Player aids. So you have your player attack turns, your boss attack turns. Player aids are good. And then your different locations. I don't think these are, yeah, I don't think these are specific to a boss. I think you can choose any combination. OS 35, 186, 187, 189. Okay, so these, so I don't know what OS stands for, but this is one, I guess the promo ones is Orion 3. And then this one, P03, I guess means promo as well. So this is a promo card as well. All right. Then you have, to use these player card shuffling. Okay, so I shuffled these already in, but these are basically the promo player cards. I don't know why I kept that little card. I guess just so I'd remember to tell you guys that. And then this is just the regular turn order cards. So 1, 2, 3, wild, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, boss. All right. Your power core cards. So these are just your generic gain 1 power card. Just generic card. And then the next one is the blaster cards. So this is your normal 2-point. Well, no, this is 0. So blaster. So attack, deal 1 damage. So standard starting cards, right? 0 cost. I was thinking these were the 2-point cheapy buy cards, but they're not. Unique starter cards. So these are the unique cards for each character, basically. Sometimes I read these. Today I don't feel like reading, so we're just going to kind of look at them. So that is for, does it say who their name is? So that's the only thing, it doesn't say who they are. It just has their picture. So it's kind of annoying, right? Because then you have to, I get it. You can look at the picture and tell who they are, but I would still prefer their name. So there is hers, molecular edge, rocket gauntlet, Cilium, the polarized cobalt, what is that? Replicatrix, birth root, or bright root. I was going to say birth root. I was thinking birthright because I saw bright. Galvanic current, and hang on. Oh, there she is. I have them in the wrong order because the promo characters I somehow got mixed in at some point. Well, they should be in here, but they weren't in order like they were when I did the thingies. All right. This is your supply deck. All right. So all unique supplies. They are not, as far as I know, I don't think they're player or character specific. But you get Vibrax, the Arc Flare, Velocity Revolver, the Scrambler, Echo Ray, Fusion Sniper, Augmented Ballista, and the Distortion Gauntlet. And then, what we got? We have this is the more supply deck. So each one is different. So at the bottom corner, there is an icon, and that icon just shows what type of equipment it is. So you have I didn't even notice she had extra hands. The Howler, Virtual Sentry, 2 of those, Fractal Grenade, Particle Cannon. Looks like all these are 2 except for that very first one, which was a promo. The Grav Hammer, the Scatter Beam, and the Peacekeeper. So again, some of these only have 1, and some had more than 1, because that's how math works. All right, so then we got these supply deck. So we have the Disruption Pistol, the Phase Shield, Repulsor, Psionic Needle, Ballistic Array. All right, so there was only 1 of those. Lightning Cutlass, the Energy Glaive. I think this was a promo, but there were 2 of them, so I don't know anymore. I was thinking, okay, all the promos, you only got 1 of each, but maybe not. And then more supply deck. So these are the purple supplies. So these are more your gaining power supplies. The other ones I think were like your weapons. So Cosmic Particulate, Chromium Halo, Mag Field, Tachyon Flow, Antimatter Current. Yeah, so they're calling these fuel cards, but basically it's your power cards. Infinium Core, Chronoplasm, and that is it for those. And then you have more supply cards. So same thing, these are more for power. Again, the only difference I know is, unlike most deck builders, you mix them all together. And this one from the setup, each one is their own supply pile. So it must be why they're separated the way they are for balancing. So Stellar Wake, Nova Cloud, one of those, Dark Star Aura, Hyperion Anomaly. I thought we already had one of those. Nebula Wave. That sounds like we had that too. Some of these sound like duplicates. They got a different symbol at the bottom, so this is their deck. Solarius Cell, Heliosphere. And that is it for those. And then these are the green supplies. So green supplies are tech. So these are your tech upgrades. So you have your bioconverter, the magnetic holster, deflector shield, oracle hub, nexus port. Now we're only getting singles. Nexus port, psionic tether, targeting sync, quantum hack, tactical visor, and plasmoid stems. All right, so that is the deck. So that's all the cards that come with this. And I know some people have been kind of saying, oh, there's not a lot of cards. There's not a lot of variety. And that's because I imagine, just like the predecessor to this, again, can't remember the name, let me know down in the comments, they're going to make more, right? They'll add more decks, more expansions, more things, which will give you more cards. So this is Continua. So each one of them comes with their level cards. So you got Nightmare level 2, regular level 2, Expert, Nightmare level 1, level 3, and Nightmare level 3. Not sure where level 1 is. Temporal turn, players collectively discard cards equal to the number of minions in play. This is a boss turn order card. Okay, so you put that in with the turn orders, and the boss gets another turn. So let's see here. You got Thorium 23 as minions. You got a lot of minions. Strike cards for attacking. Strike. Any player suffers 2 damage. The player loses a slot. Any player powers down. Minion, another minion. Activate, any player suffers 2 damage. Strike. And then Continua. That's a strike as well. Somehow, I guess I flipped it when I pulled it out of the box. All right. That is this one. I don't know why I'm like OCD, guys. OCD. That's why it's got to be in there. All right. So what's this one? This is Architect 0815. So I don't know. I put these in here, I think, because I wanted to show them in the unboxing, but I highly doubt I'll keep them in these tech boxes. I don't know. So it's here. So you got a bunch more tiles for this one. So you have Nightmare, Expert, Rules. Droids come into play with +1 life. Nightmare level 6. This is what I said. This one, it goes up to higher levels. So level 2, level 3, level 4, 5, 6. Expert, if you're going to play Expert. And then Nightmare, if you're going to play Nightmare. And then same thing. So strike cards to do things to you. Minions, instant. Shuffle the droid discard pile into the droid deck. Activate. Any player discards a card, suffers 1 damage. Combat droid 004. He's not 007. Looks like the one from, what was it? It was a movie. Area something, no. It was in South Africa, and there was a robot, and he was supposed to be an assault robot, and then he went into like a poor village and helped them or something. Again, let me know down in the comments. A lot of these assault droid type Cs. Instant. Any player suffers damage equal to the number of droids in play. Okay, so the more droids, and then one shuffles the droids back in to do more damage to you. All right. And then next we have Furion. So this is, I think, the big purple dude. Yep, big purple dude. Technical name for Furion is big purple dude. All right. So, same thing. So he's got, yeah, so he has level 1, or level 2, level 3, and then expert. And then these sides don't flip. Minions enter with +4, +8 hit points. During step 2 of the rules in the boss mat, decrease the artillery track by 2 instead of 3. Nightmare, decrease the artillery track by 1 instead of 3. Okay. Not sure if that's good or bad, but I'm imagining since it's called Nightmare, not good. So he's got these artillery. Homeworld suffers 2 damage. Any player suffers 1. So he's actually damaging the Homeworld. Yeah, artillery suffers 4 damage to the Homeworld. Player's most expensive equipment. Yeah, more artillery. So this one's to the player. So he's doing a lot of artillery. He doesn't have minions. Okay, yeah, it looks like everything he's got is artillery instead of minions. And then he does have his regular strikes. Strike the Homeworld suffers 3 damage. Increase the artillery by 1. Oh, nope. Spoke too soon. There's a minion. Doesn't have minion. Most of his stuff is strike-based. Or, I'm sorry, artillery-based. I don't know if that makes a difference. Like a minion enters combat, a artillery just happens, a strike just happens. Well, what's the difference between a strike and artillery? Don't know. Haven't played the game yet. So I used to do the unboxing after I played the game, but then I realized sometimes it's taking us months to play a game, so some people might want to watch an unboxing before it becomes too late. I don't know. That's my thought. I'm sticking to it. All right, so he's got expert. So this is Lunaris, expert, and nightmare. Level 3, level 2. So he only went up by 3, which I think most of them said there were only 3. So he is strike based. Of course, he's the Transformers. Minion strike. So that artillery seems like something just for Furion. But he has this augmented minion. Observer the Crescent. Activate the Homeworld suffers 3 damage. Lunaris gains 4 health. Player who had the lowest health takes another 2 damage. And then he's got these nebula cannons. So these are different, see, because they're yellow at the top instead of white. Nebula cannon, digital squire. Okay, and then, yeah, augmented strikes. So he has augmented minions and augmented strikes. So these must come in after he becomes augmented in some way. So it must be some mechanic that makes him do that. So all of them so far have been very unique. So they all seem to play differently. All right, and then this was the Kickstarter expansion character, which was, what is it? Fission Parasite. So same thing. So Nightmare level 3, level 2, and then Expert and Nightmare. And then so he's got, okay, so I didn't even look at the other ones, but there's two actually different decks. I didn't even look at the other ones' backs to see if they were 2 separate decks. They probably were. So his strikes, radiated venom, and then his minion, venomized horde. Activate, destroy 2 cards in the supply or player suffers 2 damage. It's a board cube that's no longer a board cube. Oh, it's Mike from Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc. Holy cow. Oh, that's cool. It's a Venomsaurus Rex, but it's a Virostrum is what they call it. Astral Infection. Okay, and then these are those other cards. This is special to him. This is Exo Sludge. Destroy the card with the lowest cost in the supply. So it's all the same. Just a whole bunch of it. Just a whole bunch of Exo Sludge going out to the world. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this back in here. All right, we're going to make sure she gets boxed back up the way she needs to be. So, like I said, this basically has to fall down the way that I box it. But you should be able to get all of the bad guys in like that. And you should sit up on top like that. Like so. And it goes okay. There we go, guys. That is Astro Knights by Indie Board and Cards. If you want to watch us do this gameplay, make sure you hit that subscribe button to let us know, or let you know. You're not going to let us know. We're already live. But when we go live, if you want to let us know which characters we should play first and which bad guy, you know, let us know down. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Just comment. That's what you would do. You would comment hero, comment bad guy. That's what we'll play. Until then, guys. Peace.